BP oil spill. Since Mr. Lee has promised that we will be able to get out of here in time to see the Giants beat the Cowboys, which makes me very happy as a New Yorker, I will keep my comments, my introductions of our distinguished guests brief, and would commend you to look at the program to see their fuller bios. First, on my extreme right, I guess it is, we will hear from Zachery, who is the Student Government Association President of Huston-Tillotston University. A very important institution here in the city of Austin. He will be followed by Professor Shirley Thompson, an Associate Professor of American Studies, and African and African Diaspora Studies, as well as the Associate Director of the very important unit on campus, the John L. Warfield Center for African and African American Studies. She will be followed by Professor Paul Stekler, the George Christian Centennial Professor in Communication and the Chair of the Department of Radio, Television, and Film. He will be followed by Professor Leonard Moore, the Professor of History and Associate Vice President of Diversity, the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement. We will then hear from Camille Pluck, a third-year psychology and African Diaspora Studies major here at the University of Texas, as well as a native of New Orleans. After each of them makes their brief 5-minute remarks, we will then allow Mr. Spike Lee to respond to their remarks, and then we will get into a discussion of some of the issues that have been raised. So without further ado, Mr. Holland.
You guys have to bear with me because that was a very emotional viewing for me. After I first reviewed When the Levees Broke, I called a friend because I was distraught. I was concerned, frustrated, and angry. We discussed the damage done to the city, the loss of life, and the slow federal response. And after, I vented a little, she responded with, "Yeah, man, I can't imagine." After that, I kind of hung up on her. You see, I know she was referring to a lack of personal traumatic experience that was great enough to give her a sense of comparison, but I think being unable to imagine is a linguistic cop-out that we all too often indulge. Our imagination enhances our ability to empathize, and it strengthens our ability to remember. Katrina, the displacement of our people, and I think it's important that I say our people, is not something to forget. It's now 2010, and the New Orleanians I know living outside of New Orleans are still haunted. Some are dealing with great personal loss of homes or family members, but all are dealing with the loss of something intangible,